Alright, here's a 450R carburetor. This is where the intake tube comes onto. There were two grooves or two ridges that were on there. You're going to grind those off. Try to grind just the ridges off and not anything really off the throat of the carburetor. I use an angle grinder for it with a sanding disc. Your TPS wire you can cut off. This one's loose because the last one I did I actually made a plate that just bolted on. I used the TPS as a template. You can do whatever, you can leave it bolted on, just snip the wires. Also the heater wire on the bottom of the carburetor, you can snip those right off. That's what I did on the last one. This is the cap right here that goes on the top of the carburetor. The vent line originally came off of here. It was one of the ones that crosses over. What I did was take a 3/16 drill bit, drill out the side of it. As you can see, it comes into the same chamber. When you drill, make sure you don't go too far. You don't want to drill completely through the cap. Just drill into this little area. I took some RTV and I filled that hole. I think it'll withstand the gas. I'm not too worried about it, to be honest with you. As you can see, I just put a dab so it came through. This is the RTV that I use. You can pick it up at an auto parts store. Pretty simple. This is the carb adapter. It goes right onto the carburetor. Right now it's actually, you could probably press it on there, but I'm not going to. What I did was heat it up. I have a heating duct in the basement. I just set it up on top of that, let it get warm. You can probably do it with a hairdryer or heat gun. Maybe cool the carburetor off so the carburetor is cold. Take some of that RTV, smear it on this inside lip here, and then it should just drop right on. As you can see, I can kind of push it now. It's kind of tight. It's about as far as I can get it on. You're actually going to bury it right over the side. It's going to butt up against here, so that'll fit all the way on. If you got a vise, you can put a block of wood on either side of the carburetor. Just kind of squeeze it on. The other issue I ran into is the fuel inlet on this carburetor. The 450 carb is bigger than the 400EX carb, so you either need to get a 450R fuel line, which I believe works. It's not the way we went. We actually went down to the auto parts store and picked up a fuel line that fits the inlet on the carb, and then a piece of fuel line that fits the petcock on the fuel tank, and then we took an adapter and tied the two together. Kind of a temp fix. I'm actually going to get a 450 fuel line and see if I can get that to work. But that's pretty much all you need. I know Randy was kind of worried about the hot start. Hot start is over here, as you can see. Just a plastic nut. Inside of that hole there's like a little brass plunger, there's a spring, and then this nut. I'd take it off to show you, but I don't know if the RTV is going to hold if I go back. Once you put everything in there, I basically just took the mouth of that RTV and squeezed it in there and then wiped it off so it was flush. Don't fill the hole with RTV because you'll never get it to seal correctly. Put the actual plunger in there, get one from that kid or order one. I gave you that part number. And that should pretty much take care of it. If you guys got any questions, let me know.